Peter, it felt like first period you guys really had it tilted in your favor. You don't come out with anything but stuck with it. Obviously the goalie was good. A lot of things I'm sure you like about that one.
The first?
The whole game.
Yeah, I mean you're right about the first. It was good. You know, they probably snapped to it between periods and came out. I thought they were a lot more pointed in the second period with their game, and but the first period I thought we did a lot of good things, had a lot of good chances. Their goalie played well early and kind of kept that thing even. And then as the game wore on, like I said, they got a little bit more spirited with their game, and they generated some chances, and then our goaltender was big as the game went on. So both goaltenders were good. I thought Shesty played a heck of a game for us, especially when there's not a lot of work in the first, and then you relied on more in the second, and then the third they're pushing on a 1-0 game. I thought he was really good.
You know, you guys obviously gave him the reset coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, just the last game and certainly tonight, not necessarily the technical goaltending stuff, but body language or anything like that. Do you see a difference just in him tonight in terms of how he was, how he was handling it?
He handled it pretty good. Like I said, that was the plan. Both goaltenders work really hard, and so their body language always appears pretty good to me. But tonight you could see that he was on point tonight. When he was there before, even when there was a breakdown or something was happening in a different part of the ice, he was there on time. He arrived on time and in position and was there. And I thought he was good. I mean, I think coming out of it, he won a lot of games before the All-Star break, and so like I said, it was just a chance to get him some work, and we were able to do that. He goes to Chicago, and I thought the first one was a CNI shot, and the second one we definitely could have done some things better, tying people up. But tonight he looked really sharp to me.
What have you seen of Will Cuyle's game developing from the start of the season till now?
I think there's been just a steady growth. I think you get more confident the more games you play. He always brings physicality, but I think as you start to get a little bit more comfortable, you might try a little bit more with the puck with regard to offense. And I've said this before, he's been pretty responsible defensively, for most of the year. He's done a good job at realizing dangerous situations with the pucks. He does a good job at realizing coverage. And but I think when you start to get more confidence and feel more at home, you start to try more with the puck, and that's a good thing. I thought his line is, they've been producing. They've been a real positive factor, I think, in our lineup. The Brodzinski, Cuylle, and Kakko line has been really good.
To that point,
what do you think's working so well with that line right now?
Well, they're working, to me. Johnny brings a lot of speed, and he brings offense, brings pucks to the net. I think Capo does a good job of protecting pucks. Will can skate, and he can bring some physicality. So there's a good blend there. They've done a good job at creating. It's not just the goals that they've scored, but they've been in the offensive zone, and they drag lines down there, and they make them play defense. And so they've done some, like I said, they've done some positive things other than just contributing on the scoreboard as well.
You had enough confidence in Edson that you had him out the
Yep.
last 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
What did you see from him?
I thought he was good. I mean, he's a big guy that just skates so well. His stick is big, and he even in practice yesterday, you can just see him moving up and down the ice. He skates with ease. But I like his physicality. I like his awareness. He was a player that played good defense down there. He killed penalties, and so eventually, we'll start to work him into different scenarios. But there wasn't anything in the game that made me feel like he couldn't play in the last 5-6 minutes of the game. I thought he did a good job, and you got to remember too, Larry, he was off for a long time, and so he came back and he got a few practices in. Then he played a game, came up here, got one practice, and he's here. So you take I don't know how long it was, a month and a half off, and you're playing one game in the minors, and then come up here and you're playing against a team that's playing really well right now. And they beat some teams on this road trip, and they did it through good defense and goaltending like you saw tonight. So it's not an easy game to get into. They were feeling their mojo a little bit, and I thought he came in and played a pretty smart game, pretty good game.
I asked you last week if you wanted to see the guys hungrier around the net, creating second and third chances. Now,
that Cuylle line back-to-back games, they're stopping at the net and putting in a rebound. Was that something you said in between periods after Markstrom made some
We
incredible
said it
saves?
before the game, we talked about it again, but I do think that the other lines were there too. I mean, Laff was there all night, and whether it was a rebound or not, he was on the inside and generating chances, and so there was a lot of looks. Their goaltender made some big saves as well, but I do like the fact that Cuylle stopped on that puck and didn't. A lot of times when something comes in like that, you might give it one whack and drift to the corner. He didn't. He stopped. He whacked, and eventually it went in.
Isn't that, do you encourage the confidence of Igor to go for the empty net in a one-goal game like that, or? Just
Yeah, I mean, I like our guys to shoot for it. I've never had a goalie that could fire it all Pekka, I guess, but I don't know. We haven't talked about it. So.
I'm just curious, is it the feeling you guys had earlier in the season when you found out those wins earlier in the season, now the results are good right now, is that feeling back around when you feel that, like when you guys won, like that feel of like something, we're going to make something good happen?
I mean, I think we're working towards that, and again, there was a lot of, I said this before, there was a lot of times when we were muddling around. I didn't think the game was necessarily muddling. There was sometimes, so I'm pretty honest about that. Like there was a lot of nights we needed to play better, but there was a lot of nights where I felt like we doubled up on everything and we walk away with a loss, and so that's tough to take, but I think our guys are pretty confident when it comes to going into a game and playing a game, and it's nice that the results are coming now and they're following along. Like I've said this, I think at the beginning of the year, there's always these peaks and valleys inside the season. It could be with, talk about the power play or penalty kill or scoring late in the game or whatever it might be, 5-on-5 play. It also goes with wins and losses. And so it was nice that we put a stop to it with regard to that. And we started putting some wins together where we're building something now and having a much better February than we did January. So I do think the guys are confident that they're going to win games.